Another day, another story. Exploring the history of the hippie movement and its impact on society. It's no secret that the hippie movement has significantly impacted pop culture. From the free love of the 70s to the hipster revival of today, it seems like the influence of hippies can be seen everywhere. The beginnings of the hippie movement. The hippie culture movement was born in the 1960s, a tremendous social and political change. It was a time when people wanted to break free from traditional norms and express their individuality. The hippie movement began in the United States in the mid-1960s, particularly in the Haight-Ashbury neighborhood of the San Francisco Bay Area, California. This neighborhood became a gathering place for young people who rejected mainstream values and sought to create a new counterculture based on peace, love, and personal freedom. The hippie movement was characterized by rejecting materialism, embracing alternative lifestyles, and advocating for peace and social justice. Exploring the fashion of the hippie movement, bell-bottoms to tie-dye shirts. Many fashion trends associated with this group have endured, from bell-bottoms to tie-dye shirts. From its impact on music to its lasting influence on pop culture, the hippies promoted peace symbols. As the counterculture group began to rise in popularity during the 1960s and 1970s, so did the genres of folk and psychedelic rock. It features various musical styles and genres, including psychedelic rock, folk, blues, and experimental music. This musical revolution provided a platform for self-expression distinct from mainstream radio. The psychedelic genre blended traditional folk tunes with more experimental sounds, incorporating elements such as electronic musical instruments, sound effects, and tapes. This genre inspires many popular genres like electronica and ambient music. These albums showcase the cultural and musical diversity of the hippie era and continue to be celebrated today for their innovation and impact. The White Album, by the Beatles, 1968. Axis, Bold as Love, by the Jimi Hendrix Experience, 1967. San Francisco, Be Sure to Wear Flowers in Your Hair, is a song written by John Phillips of the Mamas and the Papas and sung by Scott McKenzie in 1967. The song was produced and released to promote the Monterey International Pop Music Festival in San Francisco in June of the same year. The song quickly became a hit in the United States and internationally and is considered a quintessential anthem of the counterculture movement of the 1960s. Hippie lifestyle. The hippie lifestyle was a challenge to traditional, middle-class society and first-class society. Hippie culture embraced communal living, livelihood, and an alternative approach to spiritual paths. Traditional folk music was reinterpreted with psychedelic elements, while rock stars like Jimi Hendrix and Janis Joplin championed freedom and peace through their lyrics. The hippie lifestyle has had a lasting impact on our society today. Examining the political impact of the hippie movement during the Vietnam War era. During the Vietnam War, the hippie movement was a powerful counterculture that opposed mainstream society and its values. As young people embraced an alternative lifestyle characterized by peace, love, and freedom, it became clear that their political views differed from those of their parents' generation. This led to a widespread rejection of traditional values and widespread opposition to the war in Vietnam. They often marched in mass demonstrations, expressing their feelings through chants, songs, and art. This helped spread awareness about the issues surrounding American involvement in Southeast Asia while inspiring others to take a stance against military conflict. The impact of the hippie movement on society. The hippie movement of the 1960s and 70s was a powerful force for change in many aspects of society. One of the most visible aspects of this cultural and sexual revolution was drug use. Many hippies experimented with LSD, marijuana, and other psychoactive substances as they sought to explore new states of consciousness. This led to increased recreational drug use among young people and a dramatic increase in medical studies surrounding recreational drugs and its effects. In addition to experimenting with drugs, the hippies also embraced communal living arrangements that encouraged self-sufficiency and solidarity among its members. From its influence on drug use, free food, and communal living arrangements to its effect on art and music, this group left behind a legacy that continues to shape our world today. How hippie counterculture has influenced today's hipster culture. Exploring fashion, music, and lifestyle choices. Starting with fashion, we can see that many of the clothes popular among hipsters have antecedents from the hippie era. This includes tie-dye shirts, bell-bottom jeans, and flowing skirts, all staples of the original hippie style. Moving on to music, it is clear that the hippie era heavily influenced much of what is heard in today's hipster circles. Music genres such as psychedelic, folk rock, and garage rock emerged during this period and remain popular in certain circles today. Hippies embraced Eastern philosophies such as Buddhism and Taoism while searching for alternative paths to enlightenment, a practice that continues among modern-day hipsters participating in yoga or meditation retreats. This shared interest in spirituality has helped bridge generational divides as people seek ways to transcend mundane existence through communal experiences and individual exploration. From fashion trends to spiritual practices, we can still see traces of this era's influence everywhere in our society today. Join the Summer of Love. Visit our Going to San Francisco collection. Take a trip back in time to the Summer of Love with our new Going to San Francisco collection. Featuring apparel and accessories inspired by the carefree vibes of the 70s, you can't help but feel free in our groovy clothing styles. Join us now at Hananak's Corner and prepare for some peace and love vibes this season. Thanks for watching.